And welcome back to the Date Work, ladies and gentlemen. It's once more your man, Bob Dr. Bob Call. And I'm feeling just as confused as I imagine you all are, the watchers of this. Because, apparently, both Bradley here and his, I guess, semi-girlfriend, maybe, Janet, are apparently just traveled into some other world or something. And, yeah, seemed most interesting to see where things go from here. You're damn right we did. We became the single greatest nation of all time. We abolished the idiocy of so-called royalty. So your colonies declared independence at the time of King George III? That's right. No American Revolution, no Continental Congress. Instead they have a country named Atlanta after the ocean as part of the British Commonwealth. But the river is still the Mississippi. Was it the same King George we had? Seems so. Perhaps this is where worlds diverged. That depends. Have you ever heard of Shakespeare? What's that? Okay, then your world's a lot different from ours. Once you hear that Nathaniel and the others might actually believe his story, Bradley's eager to help. He doesn't seem to hold a grudge over being locked up overnight. Of course, Nathaniel is not in chain, Bradley's weapon. I don't know what happened to it. They didn't tell me, which is reasonable. What do you recommend as a good world history text? It'd be interesting to see what else. Don't get distracted, Janet. This is another world learning its history won't solve our problems. Probably true. Which are? How did we get here? What happened to the other people who disappeared? How did we get home? All very good questions. You. Please not be enemies. Perhaps not. However, I should inform you that Dungeons is my laboratory is locked and trapped with very interesting medicines. Therefore, if you are to engage in industrial espionage, you'd be advised to reconsider, unless you enjoy excruciating pain. In which case, we might be able to devise something more entertaining to do together. I know, right? You freak. Is this all part of some of your scheme of yours after all? You may fool them, but don't fool me. Bradley, stop it. We need his help. He doesn't want to help us. On the contrary, we have discovered a method of actually universal travel. I'm eager to learn about it. Where's Alban? He still believes that these two are either friends or unfriendly agents or both. But you changed your mind. That's my prerogative. Okay, so what do we know? We jumped from our world to yours, and that's probably happened before. Bradley, you said people were disappearing every 5 years, and the first one was 25 years ago, right? That's why I can find the papers. Not every missing person gets news coverage, and it's not always easy to know where someone disappeared from. Could be more. Of course, how would anything be that simple? But did they all come here? Susan says she saw a large house with lights in the windows, but that's not much of a description. I thought it was this house, but I can't be sure. Susan was your sister? Susan is my sister. She's out there. Somewhere. Well, what she looks like in case someone saw her here. Taller than you, about 5'9". Brown hair past her shoulders, bright purple streaks, hazel eyes. She has 3 piercings in one ear, one in the other. When she went out 5 years ago, she was in a little black dress and a red leather jacket and an old blue backpack. She'd been out to party. She was coming back. Her car broke down, so she was in the house. She went to the house for help. She was only 20. I'm sorry, if someone like that knocked on her door, I think I remember. didn't live in this province 5 years ago. Neither did Raphael. You might ask Alvin, a girl like that, if she'd come to the city, could have ended up running with his friends. What do you mean, a girl like that? Now, don't trust the judgment. I have very fond memories of that kind of girl. Just let me sort of quiet. He always talks like that. Don't rise to it. Linz, please remember this young man does not know his sister was alive well. Please be gentle. My point is that she sounds like a young woman who be forced entertainment to study. Doesn't matter anyway. Susan was going to the houses he saw. She was never here. She was thrown into some other universe. There's always hope. She could have arrived to the time when I was away from home. When Lynn's experiment is complete and the force field's gone, we can contact. Lynn's glares at Daniel, but I'm distracted as the weight of the matter suddenly settles on my shoulders. We're in another universe, different history, different science, different people. When that force field goes away, we'll still be in another universe. Not trapped for 3 days, trapped forever. My head spins. Lynn's is speaking, but I can't hear him. Oddly enough, it's his presence that gets me focused. Last time I panicked, he knocked me out. I don't want him to do it again. I think positively. Like someone talking to me. Dad, you alright? I'm okay. I'm just thinking about our problems like you said. Your sister's never been able to get home, right? Even if we find her, what do we do then? If we're trapped here, where do we live? Our school doesn't exist in this universe. How do I get my degree? Perhaps I could help. We'll find a way out. I was here, didn't I? Never once said it was impossible. I didn't even know where I was trying to get to. And now you'll have someone intelligent assisting you. However, if the mystery leads our focus is still here, the procedure must be completed. But some of us enjoy multitasking. Can't afford to lose you into another universe. Actually. Daniel closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. Bradley, Jenny, you were my guest, and I'll do what I can for you, so long as you respect for the other members of the house. Please stay out of the basement until the siblings may need some work. Please respect the privacy of others. Understand? Yeah, whatever. I expect you'll be filling many interesting books here now you know where they are. So if you excuse us. With a polite nod, Nathaniel exits into the guest room. Just how lucky we ended up in a universe of force fields man-sized, huh? Could be worse, could be dragons. Not really. This guy offering this place to while we search crazy science to help us get back, it's almost the best I could hope for. So you don't think the CEO kills ghosts anymore? I don't know anything for certain, but this explanation makes more sense. Simplest explanation is usually true, right? Occam's razor. From ancient Greece, simplest explanation is usually the best one. Simplest explanation is the so crazy dream. You're too smart to believe you're crazy. Hey, there's no great genius without some like madness. Also from an ancient Greek philosopher, Aristotle, the wisest of the philosophers of ancient Greece. And indeed, his point was proven in that several times over. Most notably, my country's forefathers, who of course lived then, so I speak their names. They must have been pretty insane to go up with the timeless combined army, most powerful combined army navy in the world. And for that we have the single greatest nation of all time, the USA. Well, that's true. We're standing there smiling at each other thinking about what a wild mixed up world this is, and therefore we don't even hear someone else enter the room. Uh-oh. Don't think you're getting off that easy. Dan's soft, let's believe everyone. Let everyone think all nice and nice, but I'm not. You're a coward and a liar and a maniac, and I'm not gonna forgive you what you've done. What about you? You've been hassling us ever since we got here. You punched me in the face. You tried to kill me. If I tried to kill you, you'd be dead. They're about ready to come close. Let's see here. Here we go. Save. Okay. There we are. So I'm not sure what would happen either way. It seems like this should be. Yeah. Okay, painfully macho. I take offense to that. I'm a guy myself. And there's nothing. I also hate that piss poor use for the term toxic masculinity that some throw around. There's nothing toxic about being a man and trying to defend oneself, that kind of thing. Just saying. Jenny! Knock it off, you two. Nobody cares if you hate each other. We're all stuck in here, so just shut up. Get out of my way. Make me. It's between him and me. You shut up too. What do you think you're going to accomplish anyway? Knock each other's teeth out? Beat over the carpet, you'll still be here, idiots. I submit to Janet. I don't like you. You know that. Point made. Just stay out of my way. Isn't that bad? Phew. Thought that was good. He was going to break me again. If you didn't want to fight, why were you egging on? Isn't this some stupid guy thing? You heard him. He wasn't about to let me go, so sorry we tried. Some people keep pushing until you push back. So you have to butt heads. This is... Well, excuse me for being male. Whoever wrote this game? Maybe. Was somebody on? Oh. Nephew peers tentatively into the room. You? Hi, we have a long story to tell you. The doors closed, hiding the force field from my view. Now that I've had some time to think of it out, I wonder what lies beyond. There's a whole new world out there. There's trees like trees, scrolls gray or red or black, traffic lights, street signs, airplanes. Everything could be foreign. There's 100,000 things I want to see. Well, there definitely wouldn't be traffic lights or airplanes because we Americans invented both of them. We gave the world electricity, in fact. Without us, there would be no electricity, so there would definitely be no streetlights. And we also gave the world the airplane, as well as the car, and the computer for that matter. In fact, the computer was invented right here in Bowie, the birthplace of mine, the single greatest nation of all time. Invented during World War II to guide missiles, to compute where they were supposed to go, so as to keep them on target and not harming any innocents. But as long as this battery lasts, this answers my entire universe, me and them. All the boys is Bradley that I feel most drawn to. When I agreed to get out with him, I wasn't taking it seriously. I thought he was trying to prove he could date the entire freshman class with some sort of male bragging rights there. So I'm funny about I was trying to fit in. Everyone else went out with him, so I would too. Vanessa had been so shocked when she found out I'd never been on a date, ever. So I guess that shows how I was doing a good job of acting normal otherwise. Hey, normal's bull. Don't try to be normal, ladies and gentlemen. If not for abnormal people, there will be no America, as I said. I didn't really want to explain to the boys at high school what I really thought of me and how humiliated I'd been. Just told them that I'm not messing up to their standards, which is also true. They thought I should go out with Bradley just for practice, and I agreed. So we went out there in the movie, both of us going through the motions, and we were bored out of our minds. I didn't know him at all. You know Bradley isn't some jock going points by collecting freshman girls. He's been searching for his lost sister for 5 years, with everyone telling him he was crazy, telling him to give up. How many weeks did he have to spend buried in newspapers and microfilm that he found a pattern no one else had seen? What every muscle itching for action. Stringing meaningless dates girl after girl every time, hoping this would be the one, and always disappointed. He had to tell himself slowly, to wonder in his whole existence those 5 years of searching had been a waste. But he never faltered. He continued on his quest, turning a cheerful face to girl after girl, always treating them with chivalry. Modern knight hunting for dragons, possibly just windmills. As a take on Don Quixote, in that classic, there's this guy who reads a lot of books and he gets convinced that they're actually reality, the stories in them, and he tries to fight windmills, convinced that they're giants. Uh, so yeah, that's what that's take on. I remember that from the series Wishbone, which would have this talking dog who would relate various things that were happening in his life to classic books, classic stories. It's what introduced me, in fact, to my very son, Edgar Allan Poe. All the way back then, he wrote the very first detective story with C. August Dupin and The Forlorn Letter, which I'll put the link to that in the description of my reading of that, because that was covered in that show in Wishbone. Can't help but admire this summer dedication. When we are out together in this new world, each of us is the only remembrance the other has of home, the only proof we have that our world and our past is real. We're partners in a great adventure. But at the same time, we can't forget he's the one who got me into this. Didn't ask my help, he tricked me into it. I'll never go home again, it'll be his fault. If it had been some garden variety serial killer that had taken his sister and all those others, I could be dead now. Or if he decided to certain that we all were threatened to start firing that gun, if I need to be a hero, he'll be there to defend me. But if he's choice been hitting his goal, would he even hesitate? I found Vincent Bradley in the library trading notes. We don't have moon bases. Power sources still use. Mostly oil and gas, maybe coal, a little bit of nuclear wind power. Nuclear fusion and nuclear fission. How does the fuel come from? I have no idea. Fission, but I don't know where they made all where they mine all the uranium from. I've seen him frowning to draw a large black X on the paper where he's taking notes, or X-ray in military phonetics. Though she doesn't strike me as the type to know military phonetics. No disrespect to her, Janet. And the oil? That comes to the Middle East pretty much. And from us as well. Texas, Oklahoma especially. Oklahoma's known as the oil capital of the world. There's also solar power. Photovoltaic cells. What do you make them out of? I don't know. The black? Space's cells research from. But no, it's not my fault in the house builds solar cell. We're in freshman chemistry. It's about medical science. Your culture know how to restore brain function? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that some brain function can be restored. I'm not sure how it's done though. You hear about people coming out comas, but it's not anything. Just because of anything the doctors did, we just keep them alive and sometimes they wake up. There's something in the news about people really cold to prevent brain damage or surgery, but I don't think it helps with resisting damage. Not good enough. So I can do better and prove that I'm knowledgeable about science and science. Not sure if that... Because I've heard of stem cell research, but I'm not sure about what exactly it is. Cells in the brainstem? No, it's a kind of non-differentiated cell that can be developed into all kinds of new cells. So they're working on being able to use them to grow new replacement organs instead of having to wait for donors, hearts, lungs, maybe even brains. Interesting. How they found a cure for transplant shock? You mean organ rejection? I think they use immunosuppressant drugs. Clinical stuff's kinda gross. About longevity drugs. We don't have any. Not ones that work anyway. Bunch of scams about starving yourself for extra vitamins, they do nothing. I could see the scam, starving yourself, but extra vitamins, they do help. They help prolong the organs and everything. Interesting. I really proud to suggest life's pond enhancement of up to 30 years without the feelings of extreme age. Although it's too soon to tell. You cured old age? So we're the ones in the future? Well, not from my future, but from a different future and a different past. They're behind us in space travel, ahead in electronics, but each of us continue our continuums as military technology, the other doesn't. Knowledge which you take for granted could be a matter of life and death here, or vice versa. My greatest discoveries will likely be accidental. Now, let's talk about your old method of traveling between universes. Don't know anything about it, just happened. Where were you before you came here? We went to the Justice restaurant, then to the gallery, cinema, and bar. But none of that exists here, so why would it matter? Because I'd like to determine exactly where the wormhole came through is. Now, have you done this bar before? So, plenty of times. Me too. Why did you go after leaving it? Drove around for a while. It was dark and raining. When did it start raining? Must have been during the movie. Thunder? Lightning? No. Did you notice anything out with the old man at any point during your drive? How could we? It was dark. Change in the road or the weather? Momentary lull in the rain? Unfortunately, I am not a grammatic specialist. Surprised he doesn't ask about what cinema is or anything like that, because that's another thing that was an American invention. Wouldn't exist without us. And so, from a strictly scientific standpoint, he shouldn't even know about such, because America doesn't exist in this world. We didn't see anything. We saw the house. House? This house? Maybe. It was dark and I was looking out the window, and then for a moment I thought I saw something in the woods like distant lights. And the car broke down. About how far away was that? Same thing with car, although maybe he thinks that they're talking about carriages. That's what car comes from. That term comes from carriage, like horse-drawn carriages of old. I don't know. Less than a mile. Just started walking out, saw the lights again, and we followed into the house. Did you notice anything odd when you were walking into the house? Something barely came to my head with your life? You know why I was... I just had to squeeze my hand. His hands were short and now really cheesy. Yes, often than not. Why it sounds like so strange while we were walking to the house that I was looking for them. Spotting the house we made the difference. There's never a house there before. It's like if there was a wormhole, it has to have been back on the road. Which means that your cause be present within this reality, and it may mark your entrance position. Once matters are concluded, we should investigate. Yeah. Interesting. that's actually gonna be the end of this chapter. Keeps me for long, ladies and gentlemen. So if you dig what I'm doing, please consider subscribing. I will sit back. Fairly well.